Hi everyone, this is Terry Nazon, world famous astrologer, and today is Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. And of course, the moon is in the sign of Gemini and will connect to the planet Jupiter, who's in his detriment. So this is a funny kind of good fortune, like you trip over something and then you find something that you lost, or boxes fall apart in your garage and you're forced to look through them and you find something valuable that you forgot you had. So it's a sort of twisted kind of good fortune that you have to where you have to do something because, Jupiter's trying to convey a message in a roundabout way to you. And so Jupiter has a 12-year cycle, and he was here 12 years ago. And this is about communications, eyesight, seeing things that you didn't see before, truth, because Jupiter is in his detriment. So we have to pay attention to what's being said, what's not being said, reading between the lines, and sometimes even deception, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So today we have an unusual kind of good fortune. I love a combination of the moon and Jupiter. I don't care what sign, I don't care where it is. It's always going to work out really, really well. And that's a good thing. So be aware of that as you go about your day. And if you need to know how this combination of planets is going to affect your life, you can go to my website for my more detailed horoscopes for each and every zodiac sign. Of course, the moon is in Gemini, and he's in the second house to the sun in Taurus. If that doesn't talk about money, luxury items, expensive things that you own that you don't want to get rid of, that you need to pay attention to and take care of, I don't know what does. Of course, the planet Uranus is about getting a little too close to that fixed star Shiat, so we still need to be careful of anything that can go awry, anything that could break, anything that could fall, anything that you could trip over, hit, or run into, or that causes you some sort of anger or distress. It's in the sign of Taurus, of course, and what do we know about the bull? Bull in China shop, right? So we want to really kind of control our emotions. And there are some occasions when the fixed star Shiat does work to bring fame, fortune, notoriety, and good things. But you really have to control that energy. Today, the good news is that the planet Venus will move out of the sign of Pisces, where she's exalted, and into the sign of Aries, and join the planet Neptune. Of course, this can be a love at first sight. This could be a sudden change in your affections. This could be a sudden change in what you're interested in, and also bring new things into your life. Of course, Venus doesn't like to be in the sign of Aries because Aries is ruled by Mars, where it's more a masculine energy for this very feminine planet. But that just says the power shifts towards women, and maybe that men will be more open to relationships because Mars is in effect in the sign of Leo. Now, I would go ahead and say that some relationships have every chance of reconciling, since both of these planets, Venus and Mars, are in degrees that they're repeating. So to me, that sounds like, okay, it's time to get over some of the misunderstandings that perhaps the North Node in Pisces and Saturn brought around, and maybe find out what made you fall in love in the first place, or what you liked about the person. So there is a chance that some relationships could find their way back to each other, and I think that would be a good thing. Have a wonderful day.